Hi there, it's Carol with Carol B Crafts. Today we'll be making project number 2 in my Truly Tailored online class. Now the Truly Tailored online class kit is available through May 31st, 2018. But if you're watching this after that date, be sure to check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com, because I'm sure that I'll have another class that you'll be interested in. So this class is centered around the Truly Tailored stamps. That's these stamps right here, and the punch that comes with it. So it's the Truly Tailored bundle, and you can see that the punch punches out these little designs here, which is what I used in this card. Now this can be used for Father's Day, birthday, or even a graduation card. The card we're making today is going to be, probably I'm going to use it maybe as a Father's Day card. Today is your day, celebrate in style. And in my other video I told you that if you have the Teeny Tiny Wishes, it has a stamp set. It has a little Happy Father's Day stamp that would fit real nicely right there, which I may put in this after the video. Now this Starling paper with the glasses goes really well with the glasses that is in the Pocket Framelits dies. And in the Pocket Framelits dies comes the little pocket and the glasses that I used for this card. For the little handkerchiefs that's peeking out of the pocket, I used the smallest stitched square die from the Stitch Shapes Framelits, and I used the reverse of this plaid is the reverse of the glasses paper. So if you don't have your kit and you'd like to make this card, I'll give you the dimensions as I follow along, plus not the instructions, but the dimensions and the supplies will be on my website. So check that out as well. Just search Truly Tailored. So we have our kit here is the one with the glasses. We'll go ahead and get our things out of that. And you will need your punch for this. I didn't punch. Usually I pre-punch everything, but because you're going to be buying this as a bundle, you'll have the punch. And it's actually easier to stamp and then punch. I've given you 2 pieces of 2" by 5.5 to stamp. You actually could stamp 4 of those images and punch them out if you wanted to. You have extra. And then here's your pocket. It's already scored. And the little glasses. This is just darling, I think. Here's the 2 squares that are the reverse of the glass paper that I used. Now for the inside sentiment, I have Very Vanilla, and it is 3 1/4 by 4. I give you 2 for stamping. You only need 1, and then behind it is going to be Night of Navy, 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. 3 1/2 by 4 1/4. That's going to go on top like that. So let's set these aside because we're going to use these for stamping. We're going to use these 2 for stamping. So we'll put those aside. And then the DSP is 3 3/4 by 5. It's going to go on a panel of Night of Navy, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then it's going to go on a panel of Tranquil Tide, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And again, these will all be on my website, so you don't need to really write these down unless you want to. This is going to go on a base, a card base of the thick Very Vanilla. So we'll find our valley and fold away from ourselves and get our bone folder. Increase our fold. So the first thing we want to do is to go ahead and set this aside. Now the little the ribbon and the little star, and these are the silver, these are the metallic shapes, metallic enamel enamel metallic shapes. I'll put it on the screen, but these are the silver ones, and in the inside you can see. So those will be in the envelope along with the ribbon. But we don't need those right now, so we're just going to leave them in there. Set everything aside except our stamping things that we need. And I like to, this I will use my Stampin'-A-Jig, so I'll go ahead and get a scrap piece of paper, put some adhesive on the sides to keep it in place. I'll put it level with one of the lines because that's going to help me make sure I get my sentiment straight. And then I think I'll go ahead and bring in the Night of Navy that goes underneath. I'm going to use that to help me position my stamp. Now I have on my D block, I have chosen the Today is Your Day, Celebrate in Style. But you could use Hoping Your Birthday is as Grand as You. So you could use this, or you could use another sentiment that you have from a different stamp set. So let me go ahead and stamp this on my Stampin'-A-Jig sheet. And we're going to use Night of Navy ink. So we'll get our Night of Navy ink out. Ink up our stamp. And stamp straight down and up. And that's going to help me to know where to stamp my sentiment. And I'll level this off here. And this helps me to get it straight. And that looks good. So I'm done with this, and put this in place. Done with that. Ink up my stamp. And go straight down and straight up. And there I have it. So now we're ready to stamp our images here. And I don't know that we need to use the Stampin'-A-Jig. This image I actually had to stamp twice to get a nice dark image. So that one has a little bit of a bend. I think I'll try this one instead. And so I don't know, maybe I should go ahead and use this Stampin'-A-Jig just in case I have to stamp again like I did when I made the sample. Doesn't hurt to be better safe than sorry, right? Okay, so we'll go ahead and now for this I don't need to make an image. The way I'm going to use the Stampin'-A-Jig this time is I'm just going to ink up my stamp and stamp down, and I'm going to make it so I can get two out of here. And so what I'm going to do now is bring in my Stampin'-A-Jig here just in case I have to go down, and I think I will. It doesn't look like I absolutely have to, but I do like to have it nice and sharp. So, and there it is. Okay, so I'm not going to stamp any more because I got a good one, but if you messed up on the first one, you've got that try, and then you've got another sheet that you can use as well. So I'm going to clean my stamp off. So we're going to bring in our punch now, and let me get this off the paper here. And this is pretty easy to do. You just line it up inside so that you have even distances all around on all the edges, and the points line up. And that looks good. So I'm going to punch that. So we're going to bring in all the rest of our stuff and put our card together. I'm going to we're going to ink the edges of this. So let's go ahead and fold these back where you see the little creases. The little valley part is where you're going to fold it back. Be sure not to crunch it like I just did. And we'll fold it with our fingers first, and then we'll use our bone folder when you got it good and folded with your fingers. So we'll go ahead and crease those folds with our bone folder. I'm going to do the front part too. We're going to ink this with the dauber that we have. You should have a dauber from Project 1, and we're going to do the Night of Navy ink. Just going to do the edges to give it a little more definition. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Now we're going to let that ink dry while we start putting our base together. We'll start with our glasses. We're going to put this on our Night of Navy. And I'm going to use my little waxy strip to help me in case I mess up. Makes it easier for me to take it off the cardstock. Now let's see, this is a 1/16 of an inch that we're going to go for here. Now this is going to go on the Tranquil Tide, and there'll be 1/8 of an inch all around on this one. And then this is going to go on top of the card base, and we want to make sure it's opening the right direction before we put it on. Now we're going to get our ribbon out of our envelope. There's our little, we'll put those back in for now so we don't get lost. Now this ribbon is 4 inches, and it's the corduroy ribbon. It's Night of Navy, and it's I'll put the number on my website for that if you want to order it. I'll put the link to it. So we're going to open this up. It should be pretty dry now, and we want this ribbon to be about not quite 1/2 inch, but not 1/4 inch, probably 3/8 of an inch, the top of the ribbon from the top of the pocket. And we're going to put this on with glue dots, and you should have some glue dots in your adhesives pack. I'm going to use my rolled glue dots. So we know if the ribbon is going to go here, that kind of lets us know where we need to put our glue dots so that they'll be covered by the ribbon. So we'll put one on that side and one on the back side right behind it as best we can. We'll take our ribbon. We only want enough to wrap around the back and not hang over when it's folded. So that looks about right. So I've pushed it into that glue dot. Now I'm going to bring it around and push it into that glue dot. So I hope you can see that. So now I'm going to do this side, the same thing. Figure out where I'm going to get that glue dot. Put that glue dot about right there on the little flap. And then I'm going to put one, let me make sure that's a little low. Let me get my little piercing tool. See if I can move that. It's really not going to show because it's going to be tucked around the back, but I want it to be in the right place to hold my ribbon in place. Okay, that looks about right. And then I'll put one on the back behind it. Alright, so now I'm going to put my ribbon here, even across the front. And those glue dots are sticky. And then I'm going to push this in. Now it hangs over the crease, so I've got to trim it. So I'll get my little snips, wherever they are. Here they are, up here. And trim it right along that crease. That way when it folds there won't be any extra bulk. Now to put this on our front of our card, we're going to use some glue dots, not glue dots, mini dimensionals. So you'll have some mini dimensionals in your pack, and you might have some that are already cut in half, or you might not. But I'm going to have to cut some in half because I don't have any cut in half. So I'm going to cut these mini dimensionals right up the middle in half, and we'll see how far these go. I'm going to put the flat side of the dimensional you want along the inside flat line right there. See how that's along the flat? So we're going to put those all along here with the flat side of the dimensional along the flat side of the flap. So this gives you an idea of where I put them. Be sure to put one at the top on that side of the ribbon and one on this side of the ribbon. Now before we take the backing off, we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the inside of this. We don't want it so that it's on the inside of the pocket in case somebody wants to put maybe a gift card. We're just going to put some there, and it wants to stick to the paper, of course, and it did. I'm going to put that down. Possibly should have done this before I put the stickies on, the little dimensionals. So I'm just putting it there in the crease, along that crease, to hold that flat. That's going to hold that flat down for us. Okay, so hopefully that will work. A little bit more here. Okay, and now it's ready to go on the front of our card, and we want it to be about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of the DSP, but maybe a little more, and then we want it even on the sides right here. So we'll go ahead and put that in place. Take our backings off our dimensionals. Now I'm going to use this little waxy strip left over from our mini glue dots. I'm going to cover up those at the bottom so that they don't stick in place while I am trying to line this up. So a little more than 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and even on the sides. And then you have to be careful when you push this down because it does like to move. And that looks about right. Move this. Push it down really, really good so that those dimensionals take hold. Okay, and now we're ready to do our little scarf. So we'll take one of these and just fold it in half gently so you don't put a crease in it, and then crease that fold. That's going to be the bottom. Now to make it so that it's not the same length here, as you can see, we're going to take this, let me bring this in a little bit. We're going to take this one and put it above that one so that it's not even on the edges. There's a little bit of about 1/8 of an inch edge along this and this one. And then we're going to fold it back. And that gives us kind of that double look. That makes it look like a hanky that's sticking out of the pocket. And then because this piece on top now is bigger than the piece on the bottom, we're going to trim it so that it matches. And get my crease together and put it in the center. And then I'm going to just trim it. The outside, the top one, not the bottom, just the top one. And then that way it's even on the back, and on the top it's layered. So we'll go ahead and put some adhesive, the one that's on the top, the back part that's even. We'll put a little bit of adhesive there and stack them again even on edges on both sides if we can, if it'll let us, because it has a mind of its own, obviously. Okay, that's good enough. So these two will stick together now, and now we're going to put some adhesive here on the back, here on the back part, that's going to go in the pocket. And we're going to put this in the left corner and push it down so that adhesive sticks to the back of the pocket. Now we want it to kind of stick up. I'm going to curl this a little bit with my fingers so that it looks like a hanky sticking out. I'm going to put a mini glue dot, a mini dimensional right there. And here's my mini dimensionals. I'm going to put it there in the center and take the backing off. Now that's going to make that stick up a little bit. Then I'm going to put a glue dot on this one. And I found it's easiest to use your something like this just to put it in place rather than try to stick it right from the, and then turn it over, gently push it down. So now you have a little bit of dimension there. So we're ready to put this part on, the looking sharp. We're just going to use snail for that. Put some snail on here. And I'm again going to use my little waxy strip to line this up. And I want it even edges from the side, and then just wherever you think it looks good. I think that looks good right there. So push that down. Now we're ready to put our glasses in the little pocket. So decide where you want, how you want your glasses, because that's important to make it look kind of balanced. And we're going to put 2 dimensionals behind this part of your glasses. So 1, 1, 2, and then we're going to put a glue dot on this side like that. Take our dimensionals off, the backings, and then just kind of slide that in wherever we think that is going to look good. That's a little bit farther from the bottom, so if you need to move it, you can always dig underneath and loosen up those and bring it down some if you want to. Okay, that looks much better. Now all we have left to do is to put the little star and the 2 little round silver round beads. And they should still be in our envelope, hopefully. Where'd they go? Here they are over here. And I'm going to kind of bend that plastic back so that it comes off of the plastic and I can get it on my, hopefully, get it there. That's going to go kind of up here, right there. And then the 2 dots, we're going to have one here and one down here on the DSP. And I debated whether I wanted to use, whoops, if I wanted to use bling, because you know, it is a guy's card, so I found that piece that went flying was in my hair. So okay, so yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to use bling or not because it is a guy's card. So, but I think it's okay. So now we just need to do the inside sentiment. We'll bring in our Knight of Navy and our sentiment that we stamped and put some adhesive on it. Okay, we have our card. This is card number 2 in my Truly Tailored online class. There are 6 projects in the class, and you can get the class kit free if you don't already have it. Just check out the website, www.carolbcrafts.com. Make a $60 retail purchase, that's before shipping and tax, using the current host code on that website. And you can, I will send you the class materials kits for 6 projects, and there's a video for each project that you can watch and follow along. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you for project number 3. Bye now.